In this era of grave spiritual crisis, it is not enough to simply know about your Catholic faith. That is why we need a Catholic toolbox to equip us with the practical skills necessary to live our Catholic faith to reach our ultimate goal, which is heaven for all eternity. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for the Catholic Toolbox as we hand you the tools to go forth, live the faith, and change our modern world today. Live on the Voice of Charity. And welcome back to another week on the Catholic Toolbox, the art of practical Catholicism. I'm your host and founder, George Manasseh, here as we equip you with practical tools to live your faith in our modern world of today. And it's a very, very dark world at the moment, especially in Australia. It's been a very tough few days for our country. And in the midst of this, we pray for all those who've been affected by these two incidents that have happened in our country, and many prayers, and we need to follow the example of our Lord and continue to do that. But in the midst of this, we need to find the positive, and in the positive, we can find rap music and Christian music. So, welcome back.
Hey, how are you, George?
Andre, how are you?
Very well, very well. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. It's great to have you back here in studio. It's Andre, the founder of Catholic Apparel, and the tremendous work that you do. I'm wearing my Catholic apparel.
Thanks, George.
Some of my collection.
Looks good.
You have the tremendous One Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. I have that shirt as well.
It's a good one, isn't it?
What I love about it is the fact that you list every single pope on the back, all the way up to the current pope.
The apostolic
from Peter.
succession.
The apostolic succession. That really brought me back to my faith and gave me assurance of my faith. The apostolic succession. The fact that we have that unbroken line from Jesus Christ, and we have that assurance in our faith.
Exactly right. It's amazing. And when you visually see that,
it
takes it to another level.
That's absolutely tremendous. And we're here to bring positivity. There's been a lot of negativity over the past few days. I think Australia has been shaken. And in the midst of that, we need to be positive, and we need to heed our Lord's call. So nothing can bring more positivity to so many people's lives than beautiful music and good music. And you've produced some tremendous music. I was just having a look at the album before, and it's just fantastic. I wasn't actually aware that it got to the stage of the album, but that's what we want to talk about today.
Yeah, so obviously you guys know me for Catholic Apparel, but during my teenage years growing up, I used to listen to a lot of rap music.
Yeah.
My older brother, Joe, he was a rapper himself. Like, he just rapped on the school bus, in the school playground, at home, assemblies, he'd just go up and rap and things like that. He was just known as that rapper. And so as a younger brother, you naturally look up to your older brother, and you just kind of copy him. And that's where I kind of got it from. And as you also know as well, when I went through the dramas with my leg, when I had the incident, one of the things that helped me get out of this was writing. So I remember having a guest. Yeah, I had a guest or a visitor who came in to visit me. She said, "Andre, why don't you write songs?" I'm like, "That's a great idea." So I'm like sitting upset in my bed, and then it kind of came to me.
So your brother's rapping, and then now you're writing songs.
So essentially, like I listen to guys like, so I'm old school. Listen to guys like Grandmaster Flash, and Young MC, and Principal's Office, and all that type of music. Anyway, you'll probably know.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I really love that style. I used to listen to it. It was great. We all got into the Tupacs and all that as well, listening to that.
Tupac was big, especially when I was growing up.
So, we were listening to like pretty explicit music.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I didn't think twice. And anyway, as I said, when I got through this, I was kind of rapping about the party scene and things like that.
Yeah.
And then when this happened, everything changed.
Yeah.
And then I started to rap a bit more about God. And
Wow.
everything just turned around for me.
So it was all the party scene, trying to be a gangster.
Yeah, like
sort of style.
I didn't really swear in my rapping or anything like that. I didn't
Okay,
do
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
God. I didn't do any of that. But, you know, talking about, you know, saw this girl, saw that girl, you know,
Yeah.
met this girl and things like that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And so yeah, that changed. The demeanor changed. My focus was now God. God got me through this because now I'm living this.
Yeah.
I'm going through a drama in my life, and
And at what age was this?
I was 21.
21, okay.
Yeah, 21. So,
Yeah.
like in the height, clubbing.
Yeah.
You know, I was at the club when this happened, my accident.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So, I still love Michael Jackson. Yeah, all that. Anyway, so because I had this love,
For those who, do you want to speak a little bit about the accident? For those who
I'm
don't
pretty
know?
sure people are aware, but if you don't, you know, when I was 21, I went out with some friends at a nightclub, and we were just having a good time.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, a mate of mine was involved in an all-in brawl.
Yeah.
And so he was caught in the middle of about 10 or 15 guys who were just belting the crap out of him. And he was a strong guy.
Yeah.
He was very, very strong, but I really thought like he had no chance.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just jumped in without thinking to try and diffuse the situation,
yeah.
just to kind of pull him out and to break it up. But as soon as I got in the middle, it all changed. And so now I was the one in the middle of that all-in brawl.
Yeah.
Security guards quickly wrapped the situation up by pushing us outside.
Yeah.
And it happened so quickly, and before I knew it, I heard a gunshot. I didn't know it was a gunshot. I thought it was a firecracker.
Yeah.
And then I heard the bang a second time, and
Yeah.
then I realised that I'd been shot behind my left knee in the nerve vein and artery.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a pretty serious
Wow.
thing. So,
yeah.
and, you know, God saved me. Our Lady saved me. I was supposed to die that night. There's no doubt about it. But Our Lady intervened. She jumped in. She saved me.
Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. And so
And that was that epiphany, moment of realization.
But like you were saying at the start of the of today's episode, right? Sometimes we can be negative and focus on all the negative things in our lives, and that's where I was at that time. I was thinking of all the negative things, and as soon as I decided to, you say what it is, and focus on God, focus on smiling, focus on other people around you, not stop focusing on yourself. And then all of a sudden, everyone started lifting around me, you know, and I'm like, man, how good is this, you know? And I started to believe. When I say believe, I mean, saying you have the faith is one thing, but actually living the faith is another.
Yeah, it's a whole other thing.
Yeah. So I just kind of used my writing, and it got me in deeper.
Wow. So at the age of 21, you started to write songs.
I did, yes.
So you had a reversion at that point in time.
Correct.
You came back to your faith. You started to come closer to our Lord. And then finally, you saw this gift that you had. You had your brother was rapping, and you found that gift, that talent that God gave you.
Yeah. So I had like a bedroom studio.
Yeah.
You know, got my computer and my, you know, got a microphone. We were even rapping through like headphones at one stage. So we used the headphones as the microphone. It was, yeah, it was like on one side I'm rapping.
Because you didn't have microphones.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so in the end, I ended up getting a little bit of a setup. It wasn't anything major. So I did that, and one of the biggest raps, or the most important raps that I rapped in my life, was none other than the Litany of the Virgin Mary.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, to everyone who doesn't know what the litany, do you reckon our viewers know what the litany is?
I think most people do,
everyone
but,
knows that, yeah.
you can simply Google the Litany of the Virgin Mary, and you can find that there and read through the whole litany if you don't know what it is.
Yeah, and so at the conclusion of the rosary, we're meant to say the litany, pray the litany. And you know, and you go through that, and you call on Mary, and she's been given so many titles by the church, wisdom. And I kind of thought, man, I could do something with that. Like the first half is the litany, and the second half is something that describes what they're trying to portray. And so I started writing it, and it just started flowing so beautifully. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I know the litany off by heart, you know? Because I know, only because I can rap it now. And
did the rapping help you to memorize it?
That's right.
Just like with any music, the music helps you to memorize it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I just thought to myself, we're all listening to music.
Yeah.
Why can't we listen to good music?
Yeah, of course.
Okay? And when I say good music, I mean good Catholic music. Because the Protestants have taken over the music scene, you know, like
big time.
Is it 103 point?
103.5.
103.5.
Yeah.
Like it's mainly
103.5.
Protestant.
Yeah.
It's mainly a Protestant show,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They you know, they have aspects of Catholicism in there.
And it's actually quite a good radio to listen to. It's very wholesome. You have
Yes.
good music.
For those who know their faith.
Yeah.
And they can cherry pick.
Yeah.
You know, and just say, I like that bit. I like that bit. You know.
Yeah.
Then it's a beautiful thing.
But even for the music.
Yeah. Exactly.
Especially, you know, you have good music, good selection.
Yeah.
It's family friendly as well.
Yeah.
As much as, I mean, to everyone's judgment, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
but it is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so I just started thinking, wow, how good is this? Right, I can kind of write some songs, and it just one thing led to another.
Yep.
You know, and then I had titles like Litany of the Virgin Mary, Dear God, Conversation with God. You know, all these types of tracks started coming in and appearing. Everything's gonna be all right. You know, tracks like that, and it was just flowing. And the beautiful thing about it is whatever my emotion was, it got captured in that moment.
Wow.
So if I record it and I'm feeling it, like I'm basically praying.
Yeah.
I'm praying but singing it. What's that quote that they say, if you sing it's like praying twice?
Yeah. That if you sing, it's like it is like praying twice. I don't know who said that.
So like when we sing our Yam Allah, for example.
Yeah.
Right? We don't realize the power in us singing that. That's why we feel so emotional when we actually start singing that. It just, like, if you say it, okay, it's nice, but when you're singing it, especially when someone's got a beautiful voice singing it,
yeah.
Oh, wow, amazing.
What's a good way to say is that there's special graces in singing a prayer. You're receiving special grace in singing something because of the effort that you're putting in to make it beautiful, and God is the source of all beauty.
Exactly, and even the Maronites, we sing the litany.
Yeah.
Kyrie eleison Christ. You know, I won't sing it now, boy.
You're good.
But yeah, so, and when they sing it, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and then you see the older generation singing it and how they're getting involved. And as a kid, even if I didn't know the words, I'd look at them and I'd just be so inspired by it.
Yeah.
You know, the room's full, especially during May. It's going to be May soon.
Yeah, the month of Our Lady.
The month of Our Lady.
It is the month of Our Lady coming up.
And it's so beautiful. And if any of your viewers have a rosary at their house, encourage your mum and dad to sing the litany in Arabic and just watch them, and you'll see how beautiful it is, and you'll just be so encouraged.
I do recall growing up and having them sing that litany. I do remember.
Yeah.
The whole the sequence and the tune, how they sang it.
Yeah, and like pray for us, like,
Yes.
and it's just, and you're learning in Arabic, and
Yeah.
it's just so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
yeah.
cool.
I mean, you can really memorize prayers, like we said before, just by singing something. When you sing it, even with a lot of the Latin prayers, the way I memorized it was through singing it, and then you memorize the whole prayer.
Yeah.
Like the Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Ave Maria. It's just through the music. Something sticks in your memory when you hear the sound.
Amazing. Amazing.
It's fantastic.
And you just have to look at the worldly music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when we sing in the worldly music, or like the rap music or whatever, and we're singing it word for word, but we're not realizing what we're saying. And so now I am so strict with that at home. I've got young kids, and I'm like, don't listen to that music. And they don't. We listen pretty much all the way through. It's podcasts. So, we're playing. I have a lot of Protestant music, to be honest, like Protestant rap music. There's a lot of Catholic artists now coming through.
Yeah.
Really good.
But it's all good. Even the
Yeah.
Protestant stuff, the
Yeah, yeah.
Hillsong stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite one's Our God, who's Awesome God Who Reigns.
Yes. Or
You know-
Matt Maher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Lord, I Need You.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one.
Far out.
They've produced some beautiful music.
Yeah, but Matt Maher is Catholic.
Yeah.
But he doesn't sound Catholic.
Yeah,
like when he
yeah.
sings, it's like that Protestant feel
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. But it's a lot better
yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
other things. You'd rather be listening to that.
Exactly.
It's
And so if we're
fantastic.
driving, we'll listen to that music. And like I said, there's a few Catholic artists coming through we listen to. And now my kids are even into it.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
And so,
you
like,
got the family. into it.
yeah. And so anyway, when was it? Last year, maybe probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I had this thing in my mind that I had to make a beat. Right? So like when I was listening to music back in the day,
Yeah.
I'd say, wow, man, how did they make that beat? I wish I knew how to play the piano. I wish I knew how to, get beats going. And I had no idea.
It's
Right.
all about a Lebanese drum beat.
Not just the Lebanese drum beat, but yeah.
Beatboxing?
Yeah, beatbox. Oh, yeah. I heard you can beatbox. Is that true?
No, I can't. Not that.
Come on, man.
No, I can't.
Are you sure? All right.
No, I can't do it.
Okay.
But you take me back to my childhood.
Yeah.
We all tried to beatbox,
Yeah.
in primary,
Yeah,
and
that's
early
right.
high school. Yeah,
that's
it was
right.
a big
yeah.
thing.
We all did it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then so I'm sitting here thinking. So what I used to do, I'll be honest with you, the songs that I used to make back in the 90s, which is a long time ago, yeah,
yeah.
or even in the 2000s, I'd love a song that, like a song that got released. That's number 5 or number 10, a top
Yeah,
10 or whatever.
yeah.
I love that song, and I'd get the instrumental to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I download the instrumental.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the instrumental obviously is the song without them singing over the top.
Yeah.
And I'd rap over the top of the instrumental. So any instrumental I like, I find it, I'm like, yes, I found the instrumental, and I'd rap over it.
Wow.
And some of the raps were cool, but I could never do anything with it. I can't load it up onto YouTube because I'll take it off in a second, So I just listened to it myself. And so I still carried this stigma, man. Like, it's like a stigma. It's like, man, I could never do this. Until one day, someone told me, do you know you can buy beats? I'm like, buy beats? I never thought of that, man.
What year did they ask you?
Yeah.
What year was that?
This was recently in the last, 4 or 5 years.
You can buy
and
beats.
and everyone's telling me, Andre, you're too old to rap. I'm like, man, I know, but, I love doing it,
No, it's never too old.
Yeah,
You're
I
never
don't
too
know.
old to
Oh.
do anything.
Anyway.
You're never too old.
Anyway, can you see the white hairs coming through the... Anyway. it's
No, I
plenty.
can't see him.
Oh, you can't.
Can't
Okay.
see him at all.
Anyway, so this father
Yeah.
of 3 rapping, all right? Anyway, and so they go, you can buy these beats. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, how cool is that? And so, like, by the way, I don't recommend kids going on this, like, it's called BeatStars, I think. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't recommend kids going on there because there are some it's not a nice.
Maybe seek parental guidance guidance, whoever, if you want to go.
Anyway,
there.
they just
it's a great place to
anyway.
get beats. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, how good is this, right? And then I just started looking for songs, and I'm like, wow, this sounds good, and I can buy it. I'm like, how good is that? And you get a license.
Yeah.
And you can play it, 5,000 times or 10,000 times. It's yours, and you can have a video clip, and you can do this, and you can do that. And I'm like, this is Christmas and Easter all at once, right? It was so cool, and I'm like,
so what did you do with those beats?
So
did you find a beat that you like?
And so like, my wife's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm in the office. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm just looking for beats. Man, you've been there for a couple of hours. I'm like, oh no, I'm just trying to find the right beat.
What'd your wife think?
So she's working, I don't know. Anyway. And I finally got through it.
Looking for beats.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to say.
Anyway, and so I found a couple.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, I go, man, you're going to hate it. She goes, what is it? I go, I want to do an album. She goes, what? I'm like, yeah. She goes, do it. I'm like, you sure? She goes, yeah, do it. Get out of your system. I go, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm like, sweet, man. So I'm like, I'm going to do an album. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, how easy is this? I just find the beat. I hear it. Oh, how awesome is that? I buy it. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, $30 USD or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot.
Yeah. $50 Australian.
$50 Aussie. But then you still got to master it as well. So you got to pay for a producer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you got your beat.
Long story short, the hardest bit of my jigsaw puzzle was the beat. I finally found it. And I'm like a baby in a toy store. Yeah. Right? And I'm like, how good is this? I'm like, I know exactly what to write for this. And so bang. You get on there, download it, and I'm like writing my lyrics in, I swear, in like 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. It'll just flow. I'd write it so quickly. I'm like, done. I've got a beat. I've got lyrics. Now I just rap it. So went and bought a microphone, and I bought one of those. It's like foam.
Yeah, the sound proofing. Yeah,
exactly. The sound. It just absorbs the sound, so it just takes away the echo, the
it's
echo.
Like the studio.
And you've got headphones and whatever. And I'm telling you, I pulled out the really old headphones.
You got the tools.
Got everything going. I'm like, man, that's it. Let's do this. And mind you, I'm in a household with 3 kids. And they're going off, they're watching, they're doing this, and like, well, put your voice down, and it's just amazing. And I'm like, I don't care, that's the fun of it. And I'm like, who am I? I'm not anyone, man. I'm just having fun.
It's great, your wife knows best.
Yeah.
And told you to get it out of your system.
Exactly.
I'm sure Catholic Apparel was a great success.
Yes.
To get out of your system.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so like,
how bad could it be? To try this
exactly
beats and rapping.
So now I've got the beat, I've got the lyrics, I'm singing it, and like I'm pretty good at rapping. Like I'm not going to lie. I think I have a talent in doing that. And so it was very, very easy for me to get the rap out 1 or 2 tries.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 tries at most.
Okay.
So within half an hour.
But you wrote the lyrics first.
Wrote the lyrics. That took me about 4 or 5 hours.
First?
Yeah, I'll do that first.
Okay, so you have the words and everything, and then
I'll do that first.
You find the beat.
Find the beat.
And then this is where the creativity needs to be pieced together.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm rapping. I'm like, yeah, this sounds good. Okay, let's go. Record. Bang. Record. Start recording. Done. And then I start playing around the volumes or whatever.
Yeah.
And get there. I'm like, man, this sounds good. This sounds all right. This sounds good. And the good thing about beats as well is like you can get actual songs where people have already sung the chorus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, how good is that? Like, I don't even have to find anyone. But who wants to get involved? My kids.
Okay.
How good is that, right?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I loved it. And so my son, Peter, he came up with a song.
Yeah.
And it never made the first album. He was not happy with me. Because I'd already chosen, and I'm like, it didn't make it.
Yeah.
And
but you got the family involved.
I got the family involved.
That's what's beautiful that you.
Yeah.
And I know we were
the family
speaking
involved.
before about in our previous episode. You and this stuck with me that you said about an apostolate, starting an apostolate, or doing anything or any kind of ministry or any kind of initiative with the faith. Get your family involved.
Yeah.
So it's not just about you doing it.
That's right.
And
Catholic Apparel at the end of the day was for my family, first and foremost, for my family, because it's about witnessing us live our faith.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the fact that it end up going online and end up going into a store was an extension of
the family, what naturally was formed.
That's exactly right.
That's beautiful.
And not only that, don't do something if it's not going to fix a problem.
Exactly.
Okay, don't just do it because I want to do it. Find the problem. What's the problem? The problem for me was the secular world was beating us down. Okay, it was beating us down,
especially with our clothing.
Not just with our clothing, but just with everything. You know, where be it, the marriage debate, being the abortion debate, whatever it may be. You know, we needed a smarter way to show who we are. And that was the problem for me.
Yeah.
We needed to stand up. We needed to do something. And so that's why Catholic Apparel was a success, because I didn't force it.
Yeah.
It was a breach. Yeah, it was a breach, and that was kind of like stepping into that breach and saying, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to design clothes and do all that. I had 5 boys at home, like last thing I think about.
Organic growth. You are living Catholic Apparel.
That's right.
You started for your family, and then, as you said, that bridge.
That's right.
It happened organically.
Same thing with the music.
Yes.
Okay? There's a problem. We're listening to music out there that is cursing, that is talking about girls, doing stuff with girls, whatever it may be. It's just not good.
If you just stop and actually look at the lyrics.
Bro, even now,
yeah.
Go to an 18th birthday, go to a 21st birthday, and just listen to the music they're playing. And they all know the words. It's like we're being hypnotized by Satan. I swear. It's so bad. It's scary. It's actually scary. And these are churchgoers. We're going to church on Sunday. We're saying the Apostles' Creed. We're singing the hymns at church. We're going to confession.
Yeah.
But then it stops there. The music starts. All right? And then we're listening to this and like Bruno Mars and what's he saying, man? But I'm not accusing these
Bruno
kids.
Mars, but
I'm not accusing, no. But even those who are listening to it, I'm not accusing them because I was there. Right? I was there. I was the one listening to that.
Yeah. And it just seems to be the secular music. I mean, you don't blame.
What it is music, it's catchy.
Yeah.
And there's problems in our lives and we just want to get away over. Here's something, oh man, that sounds good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Makes us feel good.
Yeah.
We listen to it. We don't even realize what they're saying most of the time.
Yeah.
But then we're singing it. And so that's the problem.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to solve. Okay? But first what I was trying to solve was me being negative. Right? I'm in my hospital bed. And because first of all, really, I was rapping like everyone else was without the swearing.
Yeah.
Then this came. God put me in this position. I'm being negative. I'm thinking about myself all the time. And so my family's coming in and they're being sad because I'm sad. How am I going to turn this around? I got to be happy. I started being happy. My parents are happy. My family's happy. The room starts being positive. And before I know it, I'm back. You know what I mean? I'm there. I'm with God. And my faith is stronger than ever. It's a decision by us. We choose to be sad or we choose to be happy. It's us. We choose. We decide. And if you're going to decide to be upset, then you don't believe in a God that loves us.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
You think that God is a God that just wants everything bad to happen to us and just, like someone said the other day, it's like being in an unhappy marriage. You're in covenant with God, but it's such a burden in your life. Everything's going wrong and
Yeah.
God's like all
Mate,
that.
that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's really, really powerful what you said there. So you saw the problem in the secular music that we're listening to. And look, nothing against secular music. You need secular music when we're at parties, birthdays, for the right occasion. And that's why I love just the beats. I love sound music. I don't like the lyrics.
Yes.
Personally, that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I've even gotten into the habit of doing, Andre, and I've gotten into it, is even K-pop music, you know, Korean pop, because I don't even understand what they're saying.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Because I love the beats.
Yeah. Beautiful. How good is that?
I'd like to know what they're saying. I might look it up, but
even Points with the Aquinas he's got some, I think it's called Lofi music. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got something on YouTube. Yeah, it's got like, and it's just background beats.
That's it.
Yeah, just background
lounge
beats.
music.
Yeah.
You know what I love? I love lounge music. You
Yeah.
know, if I have friends over, we put on nice lounge music for
Look it up.
dinner.
Points with Aquinas, he's got something.
I will look that up.
on YouTube.
Definitely.
Right?
I definitely will.
So now,
you saw the issue there.
I saw the issue.
What people
Now
understand.
my kids want to get involved.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great.
Right?
Again, it's starting with the family.
Yeah.
Like
So the first album I created was called C.A. 3 p.m.
Yep.
Okay? You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Music. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do you want to repeat that for our
Yeah.
listeners?
C.A. or C.A. That's after Catholic Apparel.
So
right?
C.A.
Yeah, C.A. So everything I do, if you haven't noticed yet, is for the glory of God. I don't want the name to be about me. I want it to be about pointing back to what we're trying to do, what our mission is. And our mission is a redirection of streetwear. It's about in a world where they don't want us to talk about Jesus, we'll change that. We'll disrupt that standard one hoodie at a time, one tee at a time. So anything I can do to get that mission going, I will do. I don't want to, like, at the end of the day, I don't want to sit there and be a 46, 47-year-old dad rapping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to step into a breach. Again, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So I encourage anyone who has a beautiful voice or has a talent, use it for God to bring back close those who are far. Okay? That's the mission. Use it for God. Bring people back to God with your beautiful voice. Don't use it for the secular world. Trust me, you don't want to go into the secular world. All you're going to encounter is Satan.
Yeah.
That's it.
We want to be in the world, but not of the world.
Not of it.
Because we are lay people, we're called to be in the world. But that's what I love about you, Andre, is you're finding the need and you're providing the practical tool it's not just about you rapping. You've just started and you're using your gifts and perhaps inspiring others who have beautiful voices to actually sing or create your own music to start a trend, perhaps.
Yeah.
But that's absolutely fantastic. And is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so because of that, right?
Yeah.
Because of that passion and this dedication, if got caught on by my family, right? They loved it. So they got involved. Like I said, my 3 kids fight over who's going to be in the song. Hey, Dad, I'm writing this song. I'm like, yeah, let's do it, right? So the first song my son wrote was Heaven Is My Goal.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's so cool. Heaven is my goal.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And it's like, heaven is my goal. It takes up all my soul. I'm like, what? That's amazing.
Wow.
Right? And then I kind of helped him finish it off a bit, right? He started that. I'm like, man, like, try saying this. Say, like, Jesus is my king and Mary is my queen.
Yeah.
Proclaim it to all nations. And I'm like, wow, this sounds awesome. Like, let's go, let's do this. And it just came to reality.
Yeah.
So all this was just words.
Yeah.
And then it just came to reality, bit by bit.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. And I said, well, since you wrote it, you're singing the chorus. What? Yes, you are. You're singing the chorus.
Yeah.
And so the first album I did was called C.A. 3 p.m.
C.A. 3 p.m.
Yeah.
for those interested.
C.A. 3 p.m.
3
The reason why I called it 3 p.m., obviously it was about divine mercy.
3 p.m.
At 3 p.m., Christ died on the cross, and he asks us, that's the divine mercy hour. And so you can pray a short prayer. You know, you expired Jesus and the source of life gush forth for souls. And it's just a simple short prayer at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Just pause, just for even 30 seconds. right? Sometimes sometimes Satan uses our faith against us, right? He'll say, no, don't do the 3 p.m. because you have to pray the whole thing. It's like, no, man, don't listen to him. You can just pray the short bit. Like you're just taking a moment out to do it. Anyway, and on the album cover, I created like a cartoon character.
Okay.
Yeah? I don't want to be on a cover, man. Look at my head, seriously, right? I don't want to be on a cover.
We can always enhance.
Yeah. Anyway,
make the beard look thicker.
Yeah. So I created a cartoon character.
Yeah.
And I used a clock from a hospital bed.
Wow.
I was in the hospital bed. All right.
Wow.
And you know how they have the clocks, the I don't know what you call them.
I don't either.
The analog clocks. Yeah,
Yeah,
the analog clocks,
the
right?
analogs, yeah.
And I literally had a vision and I took a photo of it while I was in the hospital bed.
Yeah.
And I end up using that for my album cover.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I took it out and it was right on 3 o'clock where I took the photo.
That's
I
amazing.
took the photo at 3 and I said, I know one day I'm going to use that.
So CA 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Make sure you check it out.
Yeah.
Download the album CA 3 p.m.
Yeah. Okay.
Fantastic.
And so I did that. And then my second album, which is the one that I just released on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
It's called Heaven Is My Goal. So
Wow.
because I didn't get Heaven Is My Goal on the first album, I had to make it up for to my son. So I said, Dad, you've got the album cover, album name. Okay? So Heaven Is My Goal. And I said, but you have to sing it. Right? And so he did. And my daughter, Claudette, she also rapped on my album. So
Wow.
she rapped. She learned how to rap because of me. Yeah. And
Fantastic.
so they all kind of know how to rap and sing, but she's just got the talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got it. My son, he's a very, very good singer. He wanted to be in the choir. He can be in the choir. But I said to him, I go, Dad, I want you to sing closer to the altar. I want you to be an altar boy and sing on the altar.
Yeah.
Yeah? I go, man, anyone can go in the choir and sing, but I want you to be closer to the altar.
Yeah.
So when he robes up, he'll use his beautiful voice to sing, from the side of the altar.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got it together, and I'm not sure whether we've got an opportunity maybe to play Heaven Is My Goal.
We
you can
do,
probably
so-
play it. I don't know if we've got...
So Dalia can play that for us.
Yeah, awesome.
Heaven is my goal. It takes up all my soul. This goal cannot be broken. This goal cannot be broken. And Jesus is my King. And Mary is my Queen. Proclaim it to all nations. Proclaim it to all nations.
Yeah, heaven is my goal, heaven is my goal. I thought I told you so. Yeah, and if you gon' stand in my way, well I'ma keep on praying. Yeah, open bottle shops, close down churches. The last gon' be first in. Yeah, shut us down, lock us out, cancel us. Yeah, just keep using our voices. We won't stop, can't stop, y'all. Cause our faith is essential. Yeah, world gives you empty presents. The real gift is his presence. Yeah, Jesus is my King, Mary is my Queen. Proclaim it to all nations. Every knee and every tongue gonna confess who Jesus' name
Heaven
is.
is my goal.
Yeah.
It takes up all my soul. Yeah, heaven is my goal, heaven is my goal. My daddy told you so. Yeah, and if you're gonna stand in my way, I guess for you I'll pray. Yeah, love to go to religion classes, see God better with glasses. Yeah, Jesus loves to see our faces in holy places. Yeah, we won't stop, can't stop, yo. Learning's essential. Keep Jesus in our places, don't make replacements. Jesus is my king, Mary is my queen. We'll claim it to all nations. Every knee and every tongue gonna confess who Jesus' name is. Yeah. It takes up all my soul. This goal cannot be broken. This goal cannot be broken. And Jesus is my king. And Mary is my queen. I claim it to my nations. Proclaim it to all nations. Heaven is my goal. It takes up all my soul. This goal cannot be broken.
Mate, that was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
That was phenomenal. And I think for those who want to, they can go on YouTube.
Yeah, so the second album is called C.A. Heaven is My Goal. So it's the
Okay.
name of the album.
Yeah.
It's also the name of one of the songs on there. And I go through, there's a few tracks on there. So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. I love how you've gotten your family involved, and you know we can hear you in the background. You know,
Yeah, it's honestly, it's just fun. And again, they get to listen to it.
Yeah.
And they're listening to songs about our faith.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that means they're not listening to something else.
Yeah.
You know? And so we're doing our job.
Yeah.
Whether it's driving, whether it's at home, whatever, like the problems that I talk about can range from anything in the household. So it's our job to make sure we're substituting whatever we make clean with something else.
Yeah.
Because as they say, you know, when the devil finds the house nice and clean
Yeah.
and empty, he brings 7 more demons. Yeah.
Yes.
And so the key is not to stop them from listening to that. Yes, to stop them, but you need to replace it with something else.
Yeah.
And so as long as we're doing that
Yeah.
and replacing with something else, then we're going to remain busy.
Or
in the
reasonably,
Lord.
you know, people may be listening to it, but they may substitute this kind of music. Maybe they might continue listen to some secular music, but if they substitute some of their music
Yeah.
and replace it and reduce it with this kind of beautiful music
Yeah.
that brings our mind and heart and mind to God, elevates us to the supernatural level,
Yeah.
you've done your job.
That's
and
right.
then eventually, I mean, sometimes even with my own personal music choices, when I'm driving, I might like to listen to a beat music, you know, but then I think, oh, well, I'd love to listen to some sacred music,
Yeah.
some Gregorian chant.
Yes.
Beautiful. There's that tug of war, but
Even
I
that.
know that at least if I'm listening to more sacred music, I'm replacing, you know, it's taken up most
Yeah.
of my music now.
But one thing I won't do, I guess just to be clear, is if I usually listen to a rosary in the car,
Yeah.
I won't put the music in front of the rosary. Never.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah?
of course.
So the rosary is always first, or whether it's Bible in the year,
Yeah,
whatever it may be,
yeah.
that I'm continuing to listen to, or catechism in the year.
Podcast, any other good
whatever.
podcast.
I do that first.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? And then like if I'm on the road for an hour, then I've got 20 minutes or 20 minutes to listen to music
Play some
after
music
it.
to close it
and
off with.
yeah, you know, you feel good and you get out and you're ready for the day, you know?
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's it.
That's
it.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so what do you hope to achieve, Andre, out of this? What's some
Well,
practical tools also
yeah.
that you can give to our listeners?
Well,
because I know you have a vision for this music.
Yeah. Well, I think it is, again, like I said earlier, is if you're blessed with talent, at the end of the day, you just have to go to different parishes, different Maronite parishes, and hear some of the beautiful voices that we have in our community. And you just think, wow, that voice can really, change people's hearts.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. Use God's talent and multiply those talents by bringing people closer to God. And so if that means you getting out of your comfort zone, then so be it. Get out of your comfort zone, because the greater good is bringing people closer to God. Okay? And so that so we're helping God brick by brick. And so if you've got talent in that, then God is telling you to use your talent. Yes, use it in the church, sing in the choir and whatever, but also consider, if you feel like you've got spare time on your hands, and that spare time is getting you into trouble, whatever it may be. It's getting you going onto YouTube to watch shorts, or going on Instagram and you're just flicking through things tirelessly. Whatever it may be, if you find yourself in that situation, then use your talent to fix that situation, whichever way it may be. All right, and bring them closer to God. So that means, in terms of practical tools, writing things. Okay, so if something inspires you, write it down. Get a notebook, write it down, and then build it piece by piece, brick by brick. Okay, and build it up into something, and then keep referring back to it, refine it, get it better. Okay, and then essentially what you're doing is, it's almost like writing a book, creating a movie, creating a hoodie, whatever it may be. You've got something in your mind, and you're bringing it to life. Okay? You're not just keeping it to yourself.
Okay.
And when it comes to life, then that can inspire other people. That's it, at the end of the day. And it's not that hard to do it. If I manage to do it, anyone can do it. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think you really, really hit the hammer on the nail, where you said write it down and internalize it. You really are trying to get us to internalize. If somebody has a beautiful song, they have a beautiful voice, and something is brewing in your heart and soul for a beautiful, with a beautiful lyric, or something that you've written down, or a reflection that you've had, internalize it, pray about it, maybe take it to prayer, and then use the gift of your voice to then, and naturally as well. Bring it out through your voice. And do it naturally after internalizing.
Exactly. And the other thing as well is, like, for example, I wrote a song about Saint Charbel, right? I called it Dear Saint Charbel.
I love that one. I did. Saint Charbel. Do you want to sing a little bit? Yeah.
Help us reach your mountainous heights. Called to bear fruit from early on, as a noble cedar of Lebanon. Before God, a man you grew in wisdom and years. At 23, you left your mother in tears. Right? So it goes on and on, right?
Yeah.
But for me to write that, I literally had to research his life. So I'm sitting here and I can't wait to find out, where was he born? What age did he leave to go to the monastery? And you're finding out the story of Saint Charbel in that process. And that song you could be writing about could be about your favorite saint, could be about a certain moment in your life. It is using that for the glory of God. And so in the process, you're learning about what your subject matter is.
That's
just
fantastic.
So cool.
That's really encompasses what art is.
Yes.
It's really an art.
That's right.
You might have been at St. Charbel's in Punchbowl and you walk past the statue and thought, oh, St. Charbel, and then a rap comes into your head.
That's right.
So now you're forced to read about St. Charbel.
Yeah.
You have to find out about him. Then you come up with a few key words, and then you pray about it, you internalize it, and hey, a song came out.
Exactly right. Yeah, no.
But it can but it's funny, the endless possibilities. This can happen in so many different contexts. You might be at work, something comes up,
That's right.
I think your wife said it very well, get it out of your system.
That's
and
right.
I think we can embody that in one of the practical tools. Get it out of your system. So the first step is write it down. Write it, internalize it, and then eventually get it out of your system. Sing it, embody
Research, get to know it, and bring it to life is the last one. Bring it to life. Because at the end of the day, you are special. Every single one of us is special in our own way. And so that whatever you do, whatever you produce, whatever you bring to life it is yours and no one else can take it, So it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
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 That's it.
That's it. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
It's always
again.
a pleasure to have you. And for those who don't know, go to the catholicapparel.com.au. That is catholicapparel.com.au to check out, the beautiful hoodies, t-shirts, even children's clothes. I know we've always recommended, even for children's clothes, the beautiful things that are put there for children to wear, hoodies, caps. I know winter's coming up.
Correct.
Do you have any?
We do.
Thing coming up?
We do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I got to get myself a St. George t-shirt.
Actually, it's St. George feast soon as well.
Yeah,
so this weekend.
My feast day.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Georgie. All the best. Man.
So definitely check out catholicapparel.com.au. It's definitely check them out, and even go visit the store in Belfield. You can go there. They have a pop-up store there. Not just a pop-up store. It's a permanent store.
Yeah.
And you have pop-up stores all over Sydney. And can you please run through your 2 albums so people can find us?
Yeah, again, so C.A. 3 p.m.
Yep.
and C.A. Heaven is my goal.
So C.A. 3 p.m. and C.A. Heaven is my goal.
So the letter C and the letter A together, literally just C.A. and then,
2 beautiful albums.
Thank you.
Check it out.
Thank you.
So thank you for tuning into the Catholic Toolbox. Don't forget, subscribe to the podcast and go to thecatholictoolboxshow.com. That is thecatholictoolboxshow.com. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, on all platforms. Thank you for tuning in. May God bless you. Until next week, God bless, take care, and take action. In this era of grave spiritual crisis, it is not enough to simply know about your Catholic faith. That is why we need a Catholic toolbox to equip us with the practical skills necessary to live our Catholic faith to reach our ultimate goal, which is heaven for all eternity. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for the Catholic Toolbox as we hand you the tools to go forth, live the faith, and change our modern world today. Live on the Voice of Charity.